There once was a young Spanish girl named Margarita Carmen Cansino whose greatest desire was to be a beautiful dancer. And in a transformation that is nothing short of astonishing, she not only became a beautiful dancer, but she became one of the most legendary stars in the history of film. She came from generations of Spanish dancers. Her father, Eduardo, taught her how to dance from the time she could walk, with the help of his father, who was also a dancer, whom they called Padre. At the ripe old age of 13, she began dancing professionally and formed a partnership with her father, Eduardo. They danced in nightclubs and offshore gambling ships. I'm not going to speculate on reports of sexual abuse in their relationship. I will only say that I hope that's not the case. What did happen is she began to be groomed for Hollywood because she showed such talent and people really paid attention to her in the nightclubs where she was performing. She was put under contract by Fox in 1935 and actually signed a contract to change her professional name to Rita Rubio. Luckily, that didn't stick, and she ended up staying with Rita Cansino until 1937 when she changed it to Hayworth, which was her mother's maiden name. And thus began the publicity buildup that is required by every Hollywood starlet who was ever contracted to a studio. So she had tennis lessons, she had golf lessons, she had singing lessons, and she was provided with all kinds of training to make her a big star. But the most important thing was to get her in the magazines and to get her seen at nightclubs and places like that. So they'd start with these photography sessions. Here she is with Astrid Allwyn, another starlet, creating some winter fun with fake snow on the Fox lot. This would be made into a layout in a movie magazine to get her name out there. She was often cast in roles of different ethnicities. Here she is in Charlie Chan in Egypt. She began to move into bigger parts, such as this movie with Jane Withers called Patio Day. And in fact, I met Jane Withers once, and she claimed to be the reason that Rita Cansino starred in this film. She said she asked for her because she saw her talent. So I don't know if that's true or not. She was quite young at the time, but anyway, interesting. So from there, she did some publicity with Jane Withers and other starlets to help promote the film and her appearance in it. One of the things I really like about Patio Day is that you hear her voice as it was before she had too many diction lessons. And it's quite refreshing, and her acting is also very natural. Rita had quite a low hairline, and it's a well-known story now that she had electrolysis done on her hairline to broaden her forehead, and the results were pretty amazing. You can already see quite a difference in this early photo, but the process was very painful, and she underwent it for several years. As the publicity campaign continued and Rita began to become more noticed, she was promised by the Fox brass that she could appear in the film Ramona, which she was very excited about. Unfortunately, Fox Film Company merged with 20th Century in 1935. They became 20th Century Fox, and she lost the film. And she was absolutely devastated. She said she cried and cried and vowed that she would become a big star regardless. The starring role of Ramona, which was meant for her, eventually went to Loretta Young. The studio publicity machine continued to churn out promotional photographs of her, but it was clear that they didn't really know what to do with her. Here she is at a party with her co-star from Patio Day, Pinky Tomlin, and this was strictly publicity. She also appeared in some promotional footage for Max Factor, and here she is with the man himself. By 1936, you can see in these stills for the film Human Cargo that they had honed her beauty to the point where she's absolutely exquisite. and yet they still could not find good roles for her. Enter then Edward Judson, who became her first husband and was very instrumental in promoting her and transforming her into the woman who would later become Rita Hayworth. I'll have more about their relationship in a future video, but until then, thanks for watching this video and allowing me to share my photos of the lovely Margarita Carmen Cansino.